This week, LoyalTV brings us to McAlester, Oklahoma, where America's favorite pastime slid into home base with the establishment of the Sooner State League.
Sooner State League was a Class D, the lowest classification, basically a rookie league, that existed in Oklahoma between 1947 and 1957. It was started with the collaboration between people from McAlester, Paul Crowell, and people from Ada, Dr. Suggs, and UCal Clanton, wanting to put together some recreation for people in the state. Baseball was the great civic entertainment. Game started at 8:15. We didn't have daylight savings time. And people would all come out after dinner. And it was, it was great for building social capital, the bonds that hold us together and help us get ahead as well. So it was a wonderful thing. There are minor leagues that popped up like mushrooms all over the country. In 1949, if I'm not mistaken, there were 59 different minor leagues with nearly 500 cities represented. It was raw baseball at the very lowest. Players were paid anywhere from $100 to $150 a month. They'd get $1.50, $2 a day for meal money on the road. They'd sleep 3 to a room in an unair-conditioned hotel in McAlester or Ardmore or Lawton, Seminole. It was rough. The original ball used in the Sooner State League was a dead ball, and it was the cheapest ball that the league could buy. When they changed manufacturers, the number of home runs tripled. The field at McAlester was laid out over the high school football field. And around the football field is the cinder running track. So in the outfield, Herzog either had to play in front of or behind the cinder running track. Catcher's equipment was just a soft pad and a mask. Today, they look like Darth Vader. Didn't use batting helmets. If you got beamed, you were out. And that was another thing. If you got injured playing baseball, that was a problem because there was no workers' compensation for baseball players. And these were kids. They were 17 to 21 primarily. My grandmother had a rooming house in Ardmore, and she had several players staying with her. God, they were gods to me. They were baseball players. And, it was just magic for me going out to Cardinal Park and watching the Ardmore Cardinals play. I don't know who, but, it's something that stayed with me all my life. And I think there's a lot of people in the United States who have a romance with baseball. How good are these players? Well, they're good enough to dream of making the show. And that was a fact. Of the roughly 3,000 who came through the Sooner State League, 60 of them actually made it to a big league locker room. 2 in the Hall of Fame. Billy Williams, who made the Hall of Fame with the Chicago Cubs, and of course, Whitey Herzog from McAlester. He didn't make it as a player, but as a manager and a front office person, he was a genius. And that's why his saying that baseball has been very good to me after I quit trying to play is so true. Billy Williams made the Hall of Fame. He was just an outstanding all-star for the Chicago Cubs during their bad years. When Williams was signed down in Mobile, Alabama, his bonus was a cigar for his father and a bus ticket to Ponca City, and then moved on up and found himself in Wrigley Field in 1962. The league ended in 1957. It had been cut back to 126 games from 140. It was just the end of an era. Air conditioning got people off of their front porches. Television brought the ball game indoors. 13 teams with 15 players apiece vanished. They were good enough to dream.
Here at LoyalTV, our hope is that the next time you watch a Major League game, you know the not-so-minor impact that the town of McAlester had on the game today.